with the wine of the world we forget thee. Shadow beneath thy hand, may we forever stand, true to our God, true to our native land.
Distinguished faculty members, honored guests, and the vibrant class of 2027. It is with great joy and enthusiasm that the Association of Black Students welcomes you to our esteemed institution, a place where your journey of discovery, growth, and transformation begins. I encourage you to embrace the subjects that ignite your passion, engage in conversations that broaden your horizons, and dare to explore uncharted territories of thought. So, with anticipation and hope, let this convocation ceremony be the spark that ignites your thirst for community and knowledge, the catalyst for your personal and intellectual evolution. As you step forward into this vibrant community, know that you are not alone. You are a part of the legacy of thinkers, innovators, and change makers who have come before you. Welcome, class of 2027, to the beginning of an extraordinary venture. Your potential, boundless. And the world eagerly awaits the contributions only you can make. My name is Amariyon Green. I am from Omaha, Nebraska. I am a junior double majoring in educational studies and African American studies on the pre-law track. And I have the honor of being the vice president of the Association of Black Students. There will be no need for me without this young lady that I'm about to introduce to you. She's a junior from Wright here in St. Louis, Missouri, studying global health and environment on the pre-med track. She's described as a forward thinker, dependable, organized, and the queen of aesthetics. On campus, she is an urban scholar, first and always, a Gap Park Institute Civic Scholar, a Slater Milner Scholar, and a residential advisor. Last but definitely not least, she serves as the Madam President of the Association of Black Students. So please help me welcome Taylor Roberts.
Thank you, Amariyon, for that introduction, and good evening, everybody. First, I'd like to thank the Black Convocation Ad Hoc Committee, and thank you to the CDI for organizing the second annual Black Convocation. I would also like to thank former Dean for the College of Arts and Sciences and Vice Chancellor students, James McLeod, and the first African American Dean of the School of are focusing on strengthening our community by intentionally connecting with alumni, graduate students, and faculty and staff. We're also putting in the work to ensure that we're cultivating a safe and a healthy community for all of our members. In addition, we recognize the importance of giving back to the surrounding St. Louis community with our time, our talents, our business, and our resources. Yes, we're going to have fun this school year, and yes, we're going to look good while doing it, but please keep in mind these 3 words: respect, honor, and integrity. Respect yourself, your peers, and the surrounding community. Honor the history of APS, other student organizations, and the legacies of people who made this possible. Have integrity in everything that you do, and do not be afraid to live in your truth. To the class of 2027, I challenge you to get out of your comfort zone and start making connections. I ask that you embrace these new experiences and opportunities with an open mind and open arms. To the class of 2024, I challenge you to not fall into the senior slump and instead step into leadership. I ask that you guide the underclassmen through traditions and into success. To the class of 2025, I see you. I see how we're striving to make change on this campus, and I love the way how whenever we see a gap, we're trying to fill it. Keep doing that and stay optimistic. To the class of 2026, I have watched you all blossom into these amazing and incredible sophomores, and I cannot wait to see who you all become. To graduate students, alumni, faculty, and staff, I urge you to try and stay connected with one another and with us. I know the school year will begin to pick up and you guys have other commitments, but I ask that you try and show up each and every way that you can. But to all of you, I dare you to unapologetically take up space, stretch yourself when there's no ceilings and no walls keep you bound. Refrain from watering yourself down to be more digestible for others, and I challenge you to let your culture spew from every word that you speak. To every stride of your walk. I know this year will have its mountains and its valleys, but I dare you to look opposition in the eye and say, WashU. Thank you.
At this time, I would like to introduce our first guest. Professor Jack Kirkland is an internationally known scholar who lectures, consults, and writes on the African American family and social and economic development. Professor Kirkland was an activist and strategist in the civil rights movement and has since held a number of roles as a public servant and elected official. In the classroom, Professor Kirkland brings to life issues of community work, group relations, international social development, racism, social planning, and urban environments. Currently, he serves as a social economic developer of the Helping Village in East St. Louis. At this time, please join me in welcoming Professor Jack Kirkland.
Thank you very much. I appreciate that introduction. And this is my 54th year watching fresh people and freshmen enter to Washington University. I want to start off with a comment or statement by Maya Angelou. She said, if you're going to live, leave a legacy. Make a mark on the world that cannot be erased. You know, somehow, somewhere, most certainly in the darkness of night, in the back of your mind, you must ask yourself the question, how did I get here? Well, the biblical answer might be on the wings of angels. Or you might say, I worked very hard to do this. I had strong support from my family and from my friends. I got here on my own. You might say that. But you see, you had two beginnings. One beginning was some years ago on the arrival of a Portuguese man-of-war ship. And on that ship were captives, slaves, made ready for entry into they might be the following year. You know, these people I'm talking about are our ancestors who ultimately ended up on plantations and ultimately became builders of the mighty fiscal and industrial foundation for this country, so that America can be called a great nation among the great industrialized nations in the world. At the expense of our labor, our heavy sweat, and with short feelings of any credit given us on this mammoth success of this society. Now that's a group that we look at and have respect for, and we see it as historical. Now let me tell you something about those who are your recent earthly angels, who came before you, who bore you on their black shoulders and backs and ebony wings. They were a group of young, able, and capable blacks just like you, who preceded you in 1969. And this year, Robert L. Williams and I arrived at Washington University, and ironically, only 19 blacks were here on this very racially restricted campus. And they had petitioned, fought, gone days on political protests, academic sit-outs, hunger strikes, and were willingly ready to sacrifice their own scholastic careers, futures, fortunes for your arrival. They demanded that Dr. Robert L. Williams and I become co-founders of Black Studies here. And they were impatient with that demand and spoke not in a matter-of-fact language, but shouted and demanded most resolutely that it be done immediately. And so it was. Ours was the first of the historical waves of landing on all white campuses across America. These were your predecessors, a limited, enthusiastic, eager battalion of fighting young individuals who were still considered by the whole United States and seemingly accepted by this great school to be still 4/5 a human being, who had the unmitigated gall to make their way among this august scholastic population. And they, in turn, coming ahead of you, were looking for the 1/5 of the remaining bit that was considered short of their right to be full citizens. They were endeavoring to become 5/5 of a person. of such admission on the basis of equal scholarship, with no consideration of affirmative action, but on the basis of merit. The struggle commenced at Washington University, right here in the academic year of 69 and 70, when I was privileged to teach some of the brightest young students I ever met, who happened to be black, who walked onto this campus hoping to make a place for themselves and stake out the grounds for those of you to follow. This is your black alumni associates now, a group whom I addressed a few months ago, returning to this campus in reflection of this recent past history. I don't think that theirs, ours, was any bed of roses. You can ask Cynthia Cosby, our administrative assistant, who played the role of nurse, social worker, and mother advocate for a home away from home of a great many. And don't think for a second that we were welcomed with open arms. Ours was a mere skirmish. It took time for all to know that we did not come here just for a visit, but that we came here to stay. It was a time when all aboard knew that welcome signs were not in place. But one thing was universal, which I regret has changed periodically and faded somewhat over time. There was a spirit of accord, togetherness, and no Toms or Thomasinus on board. It was all for one and one for all. We were family. You would have had to attend our classes to know why this reason became so paramount, and to have reaped this harvest of brotherhood and sisterhood in relationships. Now, your first order of business is to show your academic prowess and achieve scholastically. I want you to know that's your first order of business. Your second, but still your first order of business, which is equal to your first, is to get registered to vote. You cannot fight to have an equal system unless you are sure of its goal and for its possibility to continue to exist. You have experienced history of your generation, parents being 3/5 of human beings, and Reconstruction. Yes, we have all seen change. We've all seen change. And things have gotten somewhat better. But change is not always progress. And progress is often in a slow trot and not a sprint. And as we witness gerrymandering and other obstacles and encumbrances of institutionalized racism, which prolongs full human rights, I want you to remember while you're here and are relaxed on this beautiful campus, reclining in those elegant seats, eating fine food and luxury, and walking across those evenly clipped, mowed lawn grasses, you are now yet still considered 4/5 a human being. Yes, we've moved and we've come forward, but we still have a prolonged struggle for human rights status. So, I want to impress upon you that without such registration, without such involvement, without such commitment, you can have done something that's almost forgivable or unforgivable. And that is, you can pass school and flunk life. To have the best chance possible and steering our own lives into becoming 5/5 of a person, a whole person. It is not the degree that make you and yours par to peers. It is your own sense of rigor and vigor. Now let me advise you on how you might accomplish some things very significantly in the Black community while you're here. I have the privilege of being the founder of a group called PESTL, P-E-S-T-L. That stands for Partners in East St. Louis. And if you've been here 3 days, you know where or about East St. Louis. You know that it has much to be desired in terms of being boosted up in terms of a privileged society. I had a young fellow come to my office, which is incidentally 114 Brown. And he came and asked me if he could do some things with me. He said, I have heard about you and that you're a community person. Would you let me do some things with you? Out of that relationship spun PESTL. And this group is now 100 in number. And this 100 group of people represent the second largest volunteer group on this campus. And our community, our Black community, and it's not dominated by Black students. I want you to do something about that. I want you to feel that you have an obligation to do something about that. And I expect you to do something about that. Thank you.
was our dancers doing a dance from our most recent production. And what Black Anthology is we're the oldest cultural production here at WashU. We put on a fully student-written, directed, produced, choreographed show. It's all student involvement. And if you're curious about how you can get involved, you can audition either, sorry, these are some of our events, I'm getting ahead of myself. And if you are curious about how you can get involved as a first year, you can audition either as a dancer or actor. No previous theater experience necessary for either. Or if you are more interested in working behind the scenes, we highly encourage all of you to apply to be a first year intern. This is a position on our executive board where you'll be supporting the rest of the exec, put together and work on our production that will be second semester. We highly encourage everyone, if you're curious about Black Anthology, or it's just a great opportunity to be immersed into what Black Anthology is. It's only for first year, so you should really take advantage of this opportunity as it could lead to further positions in Black Anthology. And I have these QR codes. One is to scan the QR code to apply to be a first year intern, and that closes next Friday. And then you can also follow us on Instagram for updates about auditions and other events we do. So highly encourage you to check us out on Instagram, and hopefully we see some of you faces on our cast or in our exec board. Thank you so much, everyone. Have a good evening.
Thank you so much, Ryan. At this time, I would like to welcome the African and African American Studies Department to come up and to give a warm welcome for the department. If you all can help me introduce Dr. Marlon M. Bailey. He's a Black queer theorist and a critical performance ethnographer who studies Black LGBTQ cultural formations, sexual health, and HIV and AIDS prevention. He's a professor of African and African American Studies and Women and Gender and Sexuality Studies, and he also serves as the Associate Chair of the African and African American Studies Department. Please welcome Dr. Marlon Bailey. All right, welcome. Good evening. How y'all doing? This looks so good. This is off the chain. Let me get started. Welcome, 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 especially class of 2027. Okay. I'm here to welcome you on behalf of my chair, Dr. Shanti Parikh. I'm the associate chair, as was already stated, and on behalf of the faculty and staff and current students of the Department of African and African American Studies. We are on the move, we're on the rise, we are fierce, and we want you to be a part of that experience. I first like to thank Professor Kirkland for all of your work in the struggle, and this department would not be what it is currently. First of all, departmentalized, secondly, with approximately 25 faculty and lecturers and affiliates and several students. And we're embarking upon a graduate program next year. All of this would not happen without your work and other ancestors and current elders who have helped make this possible. So can we give Professor Now, why should you major or minor or take classes in African and African American Studies? Why? Why should you register for classes? Why should you scan the QR code to learn about the current open courses that you still have time to sign up for? You should also scan the QR code to learn about our departmental welcome event, September 7th, And you should also scan the QR code to follow us on Instagram. But why should you major or minor or take courses in African and African American studies? As I'm sure you are aware, these are critical times. These are critical times around knowledge production. We are experiencing a moment where folks are saying that somehow Black people benefited from slavery, from Black people are violent because they fought back against state terrorism and enslavement, and an attack on affirmative action, attack on critical race theory. Basically, an attack on Black knowledge is an attack on Black people. But what African and African American Studies offers in the faculty in the department, we offer you the ability to critically analyze the current conditions and situation that we're experiencing today. We offer you the opportunity to learn about the history and to learn about the current times, our current society, not only in the United States, but wherever Black people live and thrive. And we give you some of the underpinning knowledge and intellectual, scholarly, analytic, theoretical skills that will go with you, that you will take with you to do some of the work that Professor Kirkland was encouraging you to do, getting involved, voting, registering to vote, and getting involved in your community. Because the only way the conditions that we currently live in will change is that we have to change it ourselves and we have to teach it ourselves. So I strongly encourage you, take classes in African American Studies. Whatever you want to learn about, we offer it, and if we ain't offering it this year, we don't offer it next year, we ain't offering it this semester, it's gonna be offered next semester and the semester after that. And I encourage you to think about, those of you who are not majoring or minoring, think about majoring and joining your major with, joining an AFAS major with another major, if you would like to do that, or at least getting a minor, but definitely at least sign up for classes. And I encourage you to come and join us September 7th. Follow us on Instagram. Check out some of the classes that are still available to sign up for. And please consider becoming a part of the African American Studies family. Thank you for welcoming me. Next up, we are going to watch a video, and it's going to be a warm welcome from the African Student Association.
September 6th from 5:30 to 7:30, right here in the LK Club.
The first segment.
All right, moving on into the second half, close to the ending of our program, I would love to introduce this next guest. Dr. Aeryel Williams is a force, honey. She is a two-time graduate of the University of Central Florida, earning a bachelor's in interdisciplinary studies and a master's in nonprofit management. In addition to that, she earned a second master's from Nova Southeastern University in college student affairs. And most recently, she completed a PhD in higher education administration from Louisiana State University.
Yes, ma'am.
Come on. With a wealth of experience in both academic and student affairs, Dr. Williams gives so much to the Washington University community. She is currently the Education and Training Specialist in the Center for Diversity, Equity, and Inclusion, and she serves as the advisor for the Association of Black Students. Please join me in welcoming Dr. Aeryel Williams.
To our esteemed faculty and staff, as well as our remarkable incoming undergraduate and graduate students, as well as our beloved alumni of this institution, an institution that is known for consistently ranking in the top 20 national universities, welcome to the second annual Black Convocation. My name is Dr. Aeryel Williams, and I currently serve in so many capacities, but my favorite part of this job is showing up for Black students, staff, and faculty, this community right here tonight. I am so pleased you all are here. We are gathered together in the legacy of their vision. In the pursuit of academic success, we must keep the wisdom of Maya Angelou. Success is liking yourself, liking what you do, and liking how you do it. As you step out into the WashU campus life and community armed with the wealth of knowledge you acquire, remember the true success is a reflection of your authenticity and the passion that fuels your endeavors. One of the keys to your successful journey ahead is the awareness of who you are and whose you are. This institution will nurture your intellect, but it can also shape your character. Recognize that you are a product of the values and principles that this institution stands for, and your presence here today signifies that those values hold true for you. Armed with this understanding, step confidently into your new life on this campus, where your actions and achievements will reflect not just your identity, but also your legacy of this esteemed institution. Seize the opportunities that lie before you. They are stepping stones to your aspirations. The multitude of resources here at your disposal are not just tools, but gateways to your dreams. Inside these classrooms, you have treasures to enhance your skills, but remember that your growth extends far beyond these walls. Make space for yourself in your chosen field and also in the broader narrative of society. As you forge ahead, I urge you to get connected. Community is the bedrock of success. Cherish the bonds you will form within these walls and continue to cultivate them. Share your victories. Lean on each other during challenges and celebrate each other's triumphs. The friendships you'll create here will be your constant support as you navigate the unknown. But remember, it's not all about the pursuit of academic success. Amidst the rigors of life, don't forget to have fun, make memories, and savor every moment. Take time to revel in the joy of your achievements, to relish the laughter shared with friends, and to create stories that will be told for generations to come. Lastly, as you step into the next chapter of your adulthood, make it a priority to connect with alumni, faculty, staff, and mentors. In closing, let us embrace the journey that lies ahead with fervor and determination. The pursuit of academic success is not merely a goal, but a commitment to our own growth, to the acknowledgement of knowledge, and to the betterment of our world. As you stand on the cusp of new horizons, remember the words of Nelson Mandela: education is the most powerful weapon which you can use to change the world. Armed with the education you receive, you possess the power to create meaningful impact, to drive innovation, and to effect positive change. Let your thirst for knowledge be unquenchable, your dedication unwavering, and your pursuit of excellence relentless. Each step you take towards academic success is a step towards unlocking your full potential. So with unwavering resolve, let us rise to the challenge, grasp the opportunities, and carve a path that not only defines our individual achievements, but also contributes to the greater good. In this journey, remember that your success is not measured solely by your grades or your accolades. It is shaped by the depth of your understanding, the resilience you show,
I've been enjoying the energy in the room, and I'm happy to be sharing this space with you. This year's Convocation theme centers on building and connecting, which couldn't align better with the work that I do, or my experiences as a first-year student from Little Rock, Arkansas. I have just a few minutes, and I'm sure Marion might cut me off, so I'm going to share 2 stories with you. I'm a storyteller at heart. It's one of my secret talents, along with burning anything that has to be baked over 350 degrees. All right, so story 1. I've mentioned that I was the first in my family to graduate from a 4-year university, and the college decision process felt like a pivotal moment, perhaps as it was for a few of you. I felt like it was the decision. I could not get it wrong. So I decided on Pomona, a small liberal arts college in California, and I'm going to tell you all about move-in day. So I arrived by bus, a Greyhound bus to be exact, with 3 luggage bags, 2 pet rats, and my high school boyfriend from the past 2 years. This is not an epic love story. We broke up the first semester. But for anyone with a long-term partner, I wish you all the best. Okay, so we arrive on campus, and I'm looking around trying to find my dorm, and I realize that I'm surrounded by the most white folks I have literally ever seen in my life. And these white folks were making trips to Target. They were taking pictures outside the dorm and planning where they were taking their kids out to dinner, their kids and their kids' new roommates. All while I realized that I hadn't brought nearly anything that I needed to fill my dorm, and I didn't have a way to Target. We'd always been a Walmart family. So in that moment, I'm surrounded by what I perceive as literal hordes of white and wealthy families, and I'm feeling equal parts isolated, confused, alone, and different. I experienced what some scholars have termed culture shock, and it was one of the starkest times where I became aware of myself, in my body, in relation to white people. And sure, I've been in talented and gifted classes all my life with white students because academic tracking in the US. I am biracial, my mom is white, and I'm from the segregated South. I've been around white folks. But this was different. This felt viscerally different. It took me about 3 years and several Black Studies courses to have language for this sense of difference and this environmental othering. But I share this story to say that this initial moment, while informative, was only a single moment in my college experience. Contrary to that initial shock, I did in fact belong to Pomona. The admissions committee did not make a mistake, and I eventually made it to Target. As you all get settled and situated here at WashU, I hope you appreciate what you bring to this university. While others may try to tokenize you or hit you with some faulty affirmative action logic, I hope you can summon the soul of W.E.B. Du Bois, who after being the first African American to earn a doctorate at Harvard, reportedly said, "The honor, I assure you, was Harvard's." If you take nothing else away from what I say, hear this. The WashU community is better because you are here. You may be surprised about what you learn about yourself over the next 4 years. In fact, I hope you are. I've learned the most about who I am in community with others, which brings me to my second story for tonight. Black graduation at the University of Michigan. Go Blue. All right, so I definitely skipped forward a few years, right? So let me say I excelled at Pomona. Sure, I had some ups and downs, courses where I was the only Black student. I had food and housing insecurity during long holiday breaks when I couldn't afford to go home. But I also made some of my best friends in undergrad. I had some great boyfriends and girlfriends. Those relationships didn't last either, so it might be a me issue. And mentors who I absolutely adored, who set me up to start my doctoral journey right after I graduated from undergrad. For grad school, to get my PhD, I knew I wanted to be surrounded by Black scholar mentors. Even though Pomona was a predominantly white institution similar to WashU, I built community in primarily Black spaces. Black orgs, Black cultural centers, Black studies courses, programs for Black women. So I selected the University of Michigan, and I'm sitting at Black graduation after completing my 6 years. Similar to Pomona, I love my time in graduate school. Like at this point, I'm a career student, y'all. I'm a professor. Like I love it here, right? No lie, I followed the same blueprint in grad school. I built personal and professional community in primarily Black spaces, Black orgs for graduate students, Black conferences, mentorship from Black colleagues. And let me say this, even when or if it feels a bit difficult, I hope you can find your folks and that you can find your spaces. They may not be Black and that's perfectly okay, but I hope you find the people and places where you feel fully seen and cared for. So let me set the scene for you Black grads. So Michigan has about a 5 to 6 Black student population at the university with over 50,000 students. So minoritized, but folks showed up, okay? We had the amphitheater packed. Families had traveled from across the country or down the road, they're from Detroit, to celebrate their graduates. There are signs, there are noisemakers, folks are dressed to the nines, little dance waves are just randomly breaking out. Divine Nine members are in the house, and some students are literally stepping across the stage. No one has told anybody to hold their applause until the end. The place is just packed with love. I'm soaking it all up, incredulous that my time here is coming to an end. Students that I taught are walking across the stage. One of my mentors is the keynote speaker. I'm literally loving every second. Near the end, my mentor asked all first-generation students to stand up. I'll never forget this moment because it was so unexpected. We all stand up, the crowd cheers. Look at us, first in our family to finish this degree, right? We earned this, we worked hard, we did it. Then he asked the first-gen students who earned a graduate degree to remain standing. Undergrad students sit down. We all here, we have another wave of applause. I'm clapping, I'm smiling hard, my face hurts, my cheeks hurt, all that. And then he asked first-gen students who earned their doctoral degree to remain standing, who got their PhD. And only 3 of us in this crowd of hundreds of folks are still standing. The crowd cheering soared, absolutely soared, when we talk about generational differences and how far the progress we're making, right? Now, I didn't have any family with me at this event. My parents had to return to work, my kids were babies at the time, so my husband took them home. It was just me and my best friend. But in that moment, I felt profoundly connected to the collective joy and celebration around me, around what they had created at Michigan for Black graduation at this campus. This was one of those Ubuntu moments, the I am because we are. I don't share the second story to make it seem like all skin folk are kinfolk. We are all individual and unique people, even if that one student in your dorm refuses to learn your name and swears that you look like the other Black student who you in fact do not actually look like. Instead, I share this story for 2 main reasons. 1, I've been so focused on getting through high school and getting to college, getting through Pomona and getting to grad school, getting through Michigan and getting a job, that I often forgot to be present in the moment. I forgot to celebrate the small wins because I was trying to survive. And that's a fair reality for some of us. It took an entire amphitheater cheering, and for me to be one of 3 students to remain standing, for me to look around and be deeply overcome with pride at what I'd accomplished, at how hard I'd worked, and to realize how supported I was. May you build connections here on this campus that allow you to feel joyfully and authentically supported. 2, I will never know everyone who was in that auditorium, but I know that we were not a monolith. I know there were students whose families had generations of higher education under their belt, families with properties at Martha's Vineyard who traveled to different countries because traveling is amazing. I know there were immigrant families whose parents had earned degrees in their home countries. There were disabled and neurodiverse Black folks in that space, queer and trans Black folks in that space, Black multilingual folks, Black folks from the hood, and Black biracial folks with family members who voted for Trump. Now, before I sound too much like a Dr. Seuss book that will not get published, let me wrap this up. One of the things that I have learned while being educated in predominantly white university settings is that sometimes people try to paint Blackness and Black people as one thing. This type of limited thinking can occur even from within our own communities, and sometimes it hurts worse when it does. But please know, if you aren't already aware, that we are anything but monolithic. And you deserve to be the version of yourself that feels most affirming and authentic, even as that version shifts and changes during college, and even if other folks aren't here for it. Remember when I was talking about how I thought my college decision was the decision? It was important, but I've had to make so many other important decisions since then, and this is the beginning. Hopefully a beautiful beginning and one of many more to come. The next 4 years is a single chapter of your lives. Know that you are limitless, and always remember that rest is your birthright. You don't have to earn rest. Don't let anyone make you doubt that you belong here. And last, if the recipe says to bake it at 400 for 30 minutes, always check it at like 22 minutes or so, or it's going to burn. Have a great evening, y'all.
At this time, I'll be naming off a list of clubs and activities. If you are an active member, please stand and remain standing to be recognized. Queens, Black Men's Coalition, Black Student Mutual Aid, National Society of Black Engineers, Caribbean American Student Association, African Student Association, Black Student Alliance, WashU Black Letter Reading African Coalition, the Black Student Business Network, Black Anthology, Black Graduate Student Association, Black Law Student Association, Sam Fox Black Student Network, Pretty Beloved, Strive for College, Alpha Phi Alpha Fraternity Incorporated, Alpha Kappa Alpha Sorority Incorporated, Kappa Alpha Psi Fraternity Incorporated, Omega Psi Alpha Fraternity Incorporated, Delta Sigma Theta Sorority Incorporated, Phi Beta Sigma Fraternity Incorporated, Zeta Phi Beta Sorority Incorporated, Sigma Delta Rho Sorority Incorporated, Iota Phi Theta Fraternity Incorporated, and last but not least, the Association of Black Students. If you are still sitting down, I would like to invite you to stand, as we are all active members of the Association of Black Students. As we recognize these clubs and activities and organizations, let us remember that they are not merely separate entities. They are threads woven into the rich tapestry of our educational community. They exemplify the diverse tapestry of interests and aspirations that make our institution and community thrive. So to all the members of Black clubs and organizations, ABS commends your dedication and applauds your achievements. Your unwavering commitment enriches our campus and inspires those around you. As you continue to contribute your time and talents, may you find fulfillment, friendship, and personal growth on this rewarding journey. Let's give it up again for everyone involved.
Welcome do not hesitate to reach out no matter how small the problem is. You're open to making new memories, meeting new people, just enjoy your overall time at WashU. It's a dual life class. Again, you belong here, you're going to do great, and yeah, good luck.
I have class of 2027, I was looking for the I'm super excited about being in WashU community. A little bit of advice that I can give you, or that I would give, is whatever you take your college experience is going to be like, because it's not going to go what you expect. But regardless of what you expect, because those experiences will fly by, and you'll be a senior with 33 next year's coming freshman class.
At this time, we're going to get ready for, before I be dismissed, I would like, if you are a member of the Black Convocation Committee, can you please stand? Thank you so much for all your help. You have supported me so much throughout this journey. Thank you to Christina Walker, who served as the chair of that committee, that we announced, and also thank you to Christina and Johnson for working on the ABS video. Now, when you entered into the Grand Chapel, you should have picked up a little wristband right here. Now, in the effort to kind of mix y'all up and get y'all talking to different people, we are going to dismiss you by the colors with those wristbands. Okay?